Hi, good afternoon. This is Miss Rose, the Flow Advisor for Madison High School, Westbury High School, Sharpstown High School, and Wisdom High School. And today I'm going to be walking you through how to create a student resume. Many of you have stated that you don't have any work experience, so therefore you've not created a resume. However, you don't have to have work experience to have a resume. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a Word document, and we can do this one of two ways. So you can actually search for a template and use one of the resume templates. So you'd search for resume and then click search. What this is going to do is it's going to pull up several different types of templates. Now, keep in mind that most of these templates are for professionals that have work experience. So you will have to tailor it to student needs if you do not have work experience. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work off of a blank document. Okay. So go ahead and pull up a blank document. And the best thing to do, or what I suggest you do, is you start off your resume with your name. Okay. So type your name and everything. We're going to leave it all in the same font, in the same size. And at the end, we'll get a little more creative to make it stand out a little bit. Okay. So you're going to have your name first, and then you're going to put your address. So you're going to put your home address, 123 Street, Street, and that is in Houston, Texas, 7700, whatever your zip code is. Next, you're going to want to put your email address. Now, keep in mind that this resume will be one that you can carry with you throughout your professional career. If you do not have a professional email, I want you to go ahead and stop now. Go to either Google or not Google, Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, whatever email server you have, and create a professional email. Now, you don't want to have something like Cookie Monster at gmail.com or, them girls, nothing crazy like that. You want to have an email that you're going to be able to provide to a professional when you're applying to a professional job. So, since my name is Rose Castillo, my professional email is rose at discoverus.org. You could use your first name and your last name together. You can use your first name and your last initial, or you can use your first initial and your last name. You can use your last name followed by your first name. It doesn't matter what, I guess, what order you put it in, as long as it is professional. Now, a lot of times, you might run into the case where somebody else already has that email address. So think of maybe a number that might be of significance to you, maybe like your favorite number, or even the month that you were born in. I don't know, just something to differentiate your email from somebody that already has your email address. So if your name is Jane Doe and everybody else has J Doe and Jane Doe used, or Doe Jane, all of those are used. You can differentiate it by perhaps using J period Doe period and then a number, 01 or 02 or whatever number you want that to be. And that can be a professional email address. So now let's move on. Once you've created your email and it's professional, you're going to put it in under your address, and then you're going to put in your phone number. It's important for you to keep this information updated. And if you change your phone number, if you change your email, or not your email address, your home address, that you always update your resume. You don't want to be giving out old information because this is what people use to contact you, okay? Now, you've got your name, you've got your address, you've got your phone number. Now we're going to create an outline, okay? So since this is an academic resume, we're going to first list your education, okay? So we're just gonna, this is just an outline, so we're just gonna put education, space. You're going to put your extracurricular activities, extracurricular, I'm not spelling correctly, activities. You're going to put, let's see, you're going to put, if you have any volunteer experience, that's going to serve as your experience. And then you want to proceed that with any awards that you have won, okay? So now that we have this shell, we're going to go back and fill it in, okay? So under your education, you're going to put the high school that you attended, okay? So let's say, for example, I attended Madison High School. And that is found in Houston, Texas, correct? So Madison High School from Houston, Texas. And I am currently a junior. So we're going to list with junior, and then we're going to list our GPA. Let's say that my GPA is a 3.89. And we're going to list any honors. Okay, so let's say that I'm on the honor roll. All right, so that is my education history. Now we're going to move down to extracurricular activities. So if you're involved in sports, that's where you're going to include your sports. If you're involved in any of the clubs at school, if you are in trio, if you're in, I don't know, HPD Explorers, if you are in the drama club and band, okay, you want to include all of these activities here. So let's say that I am in athletics. Okay, let's be a little bit more specific. Athletics. So I'm in basketball. This is actually what I played in high school, guys. So I played basketball, I played volleyball, and I ran track and cross country. All right. And I was also part of the drama club. And I was also a yearbook editor. I was a yearbook copy editor, to be more specific. Okay, so these are all of my extracurricular activities. Now, we're going to go back and continue filling in the details, but we just want to make sure that we list our information first, okay? Now, we're going to go down to volunteer experience. So, this is where you list anything that you do after school, outside of school activities. So let's say, for example, you are part of your church's what they call your meal delivery. You guys have a pantry where you feed the homeless, or you guys participate in anything that has to do with providing supplies to children in need, or perhaps you you participated in some sort of marathon to help raise funds for something. You want to list all of those activities here. So for my volunteer activities, I was part of what they call a Pathfinder Club. It's kind of like Boys and Girl Scouts, and I was one of the counselors. So that's what I'm going to put here. Another volunteer experience is we fed the homeless. So I'm going to put that there. And anything else that you might think of. Okay. Now going down to awards. This is where you want to include any awards that you've won throughout your educational career, high school career. Okay. We're not going to go down to kindergarten if you won the honor roll in kindergarten. You want to focus on your high school career. Okay. So Here, what you want to put is if you won, I won Cadet of the Year. Oh, that's another thing that I was involved in extracurricular activities. I was actually in JROTC, and I was Cadet of the Year for that for high school. So any awards that you won, go ahead and list them here. If you are part of the National Honor Society, you can put it here, National Honor Society. Any awards that you won. Okay, so you're going to list them here. Okay, so etc. You don't want to put etc. on your resume. This is just for you to, well, let me just take this off so you guys don't add etc. I don't want you guys to up. Okay, so now it's kind of all washing together. We want to go back. Let's do this. So let's make sure that we make everything single space. So you're going to go down to your paragraph settings, and you're going to make everything single space. If you see that there's still a lot of space in between them, you're going to go in and remove spaces after your paragraph or remove spaces before your paragraph. Okay, so now everything is single space. Now what we want to do is we want to bold our headings. Okay, so your name is a heading. That is an important part of this resume. You want them to know who it is that they're reading about. Okay, then another heading is your education. Another heading is extracurricular activities. Another heading is volunteer experience. Okay, so we want to bold all of these. And then another heading is awards. Now, as you can see, your eye is starting to kind of glide down the resume a little bit better, and you're able to see everything a little bit smoother. Okay, so now you can start getting a little more creative here. Okay, so you can start to italicize titles. So right here with athletics, I would italicize athletics and then list everything that I was involved in. Drama club, I would explain what I did in the drama club. So I participated in leading out school plays for our community and ensured that our costumes were ready for each event. Okay, so our yearbook copy editor. So what I did is I participated in collecting what do you call it? Articles for the school yearbook, and I checked all of the picture titles, and everything that was written in the yearbook, I had to check it. So that's what I'm going to write on here. And edited for grammar and spelling errors. Okay, so let me correct my spelling error here. I saw that I misspelled volleyball. Okay, now for JROTC, I was the drill sergeant. Sergeant for our drill team and was in charge of the lowering and raising of the flag. Okay, so just like I did before, I'm going to go here and kind of differentiate between the things that I've got written down. So the yearbook editor was one of my titles. I'm going to treat each item as kind of like a job and just kind of expand on it. So in athletics, I was a basketball, volleyball, and track and cross country participant. I wasn't really a captain or any of that thing. I was just one of the players. In the drama club, I did that as well. In the yearbook copy editor, that was my responsibilities. So that's really what you want to do is you want to outline your responsibility and just let this shine on your talents. Okay. Now for volunteer experience, you want to do the same thing. Okay. What exactly did you do for that experience? So as a camp counselor, I mentored younger the younger kids in learning basic life skills, Bible skills, and activities. Okay, in feeding the homeless, I assisted in making sure the line ran smoothly and that logistically everyone was able to move through the dining hall and food line quickly. All right. So now you want to go back and again italicize your titles. Okay. This is going to help them see what your position, so to speak, was, and then explain it. Okay. Now under awards, you just want to list your awards, and then you'll want to list the year that you received your award. Okay. So my award, I got it in 1999. Woo, that was a long time ago, guys. National Honor Society, whatever year you got that in, then you would list the year that you received your award. Remember, you're only focusing on high school, okay? Now, once you have all of that listed, you can get a lot more creative. I know some of you will think, well, this document looks really boring. How do I make it look a little bit better? You can now get as creative as you want. So let's say you want to increase the font on your name to make it stand out a little bit more. You can even, if you want to make it a font that is a little more attractive, you don't want to go crazy and use something like, I don't know, something like Algerian font. And, that let's not get, we still want to make it look professional. Okay. Let's not get a little crazy. But you can definitely change the font a little bit. Let's say we want to use Times New Roman font instead of this Calibri. Or let's say we want to use something that still looks professional. So let's select, where's Times New Roman? Let's see. Times New Roman font. That way it looks a little bit different, but it still looks professional. Okay. So, and then you can perhaps put some bullet points to make it stand out a little bit. Okay. Here, whoops. Okay. That way your eye will probably move down the page a little bit smoother. And you're able to see each job by its bullet point, or each club or each activity that you participated in by its bullet point. Okay. And so you can do the same thing with awards if you want to. You can list each award by a bullet point instead of putting them side by side. So as you can see, your eye now flows a little bit smoother. You can also feel free to center your name, center every title. If you want to capitalize your name and also capitalize the title of each section and then make it centered. I had a moment there. Then you can do that. And that way it's a little bit easier to kind of go down your resume. Just make sure that you don't do too many different and crazy things. Make it appealing to the eye. Make it to where it looks, smooth and cohesive. Maybe I want to do where I have my email address here next to my address, and then I want to put my phone number on here all on one line. And so you can, use your creativity, make it appealing, make it to where you're going to, if you were looking at this, you would be impressed. Now, once you're done, at the very bottom, I do recommend you add references. Okay. Now, if you have somebody that you trust that knows your ethics, your work ethics, that is familiar with who you are and is willing to take a phone call from somebody to talk good about you and to really toot your horn, so to speak, then go ahead and list them here. But if you're not sure who you want to list just yet, you can just put available, and we'll fix this here. This should not be bolded, and it should not be the large font. It should be just the regular font. Okay, so we're going to put available upon request. So what this is going to do is it's going to give you a little bit of time to create your list of references. If you do have a list of reference, then that's what you'll create. I'll create another little webinar for that, showing you how to create your list of references, okay? But for now, this is your basic educational resume. I use this as a format, get a little creative, add some color to it. Look online, definitely Google, and get some ideas as well. All right, I wish you guys good luck, and I hope you're able to create a good resume.